Let's talk about a really powerful idea. What if you could actually upgrade your brain's hardware? Sharpen your focus, boost your memory with something as simple as a short walk. We're going to break down the science behind how it all works.
You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. Your brain just feels like it's running on fumes. It's sluggish, it's foggy, and it's just not firing on all cylinders. So frustrating.
And it's like, you've done everything right. You got your sleep, you had your coffee, but your focus still shatters like glass the second you try to do anything. It's maddening. But what if I told you this wasn't a problem with your willpower? What if it's actually biological?
Okay, so let's get into what's really going on when your brain feels like it's on low battery. And it's so important to know these feelings, they are not signs of you being lazy or weak. They are just signals from your brain telling you that something is a little out of balance.
Do any of these hit a little too close to home? Your focus just disappears, it takes you forever to get going in the morning, or maybe you find yourself rereading the same sentence 3 times just to get it. Look, these aren't just random annoyances. They're real signs that the connections in your brain could probably use a tune-up.
But here is where things get really exciting. Your body has this incredible built-in repair kit. It's a protein that acts like fertilizer for your brain, helping all your neurons grow, connect, and just thrive.
It's called BDNF. That stands for Brain-Derived Neurotrophic Factor. Yeah, I know, it's a total mouthful. The easiest way to think about it is like this. It's the master architect for your brain. It reinforces the pathways you already have and helps lay the foundation for new ones.
And that Miracle-Gro analogy, it is absolutely perfect. Because BDNF doesn't just maintain what's already there. No, it actively encourages your brain cells to sprout new connections, almost like branches on a tree. And that is what makes your brain more flexible, more adaptive, and ready to learn new things.
So, to put it really simply, BDNF does 3 critical jobs. First, it protects your neurons from stress. Second, it helps them grow new pathways. And third, it strengthens the synapses. Those are the tiny gaps between neurons where information gets passed along. That's literally where learning and memory happen. So, more BDNF means a stronger, faster, and way more resilient brain.
Okay, so if BDNF is the fertilizer, then how do we get more of it? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. And honestly, it's accessible to pretty much everyone. One of the most powerful ways to trigger a flood of this stuff is just by moving your body. Physical exercise.
And the effect isn't subtle. It's immediate and it is dramatic. On the left, you've got your baseline BDNF levels before any activity. But on the right, after just one single session of moderate exercise, there is a massive spike. Your body basically sees movement as a signal to adapt and get stronger, and your brain is the first thing to get that upgrade.
This whole thing creates this powerful 1-2 punch. In the short term, right after a workout, you get that immediate clarity, that mood boost. But the real magic, that happens in the long term. When you're consistent, you are literally building a better brain, one with a stronger memory, deeper focus, and way more resilience to stress.
So what's the perfect workout plan for your brain? Well, here is the most important rule to remember. Consistency beats intensity. Every single time. A really grueling once-a-week workout is way less effective than shorter, more frequent sessions.
Let's think of it like a weekly menu. Your main course is aerobic exercise. A brisk walk, a bike ride, do that 2 to 4 times a week. That's all about blood flow and oxygen. Then for a side dish, add in some strength training once or twice. This sends a really powerful signal from your muscles straight to your brain. And for dessert, maybe some intervals, but that's totally optional. Something to add once you've got a solid routine going. And hey, if your first thought is, I just don't have time for this, well, here is the best news of all. You don't need to spend hours at the gym. Just 10 to 20 minutes. That's all it takes to trigger this incredible brain-boosting response. Honestly, the hardest part is just putting on your shoes and starting. Now, exercise is the spark, for sure. But if you want to turn that spark into a roaring fire of brain health, you need to create the right environment. Think of it like a whole ecosystem, where other key habits can either supercharge your results or completely sabotage them.
There are 3 pillars here that are totally non-negotiable. First, quality sleep. This is when your brain literally rebuilds and repairs itself. If you skimp on sleep, you're pretty much undoing all your hard work. Second is nutrition. Your brain is built from the food you eat, so give it the good stuff it needs. And third, you gotta manage your stress. Chronic stress is the arch nemesis of BDNF, so finding healthy ways to de-stress is absolutely crucial.
All right,
That's enough theory. Let's actually put this to the test. I want to give you a simple 7-day challenge. Think of it as a low-stakes experiment just to gather some data on your own brain and feel the difference for yourself.
Here's the plan. 3 short aerobic sessions this week. Just one simple body weight workout. And here's the key. After each session, immediately use that brain boost for a mental task, like reading something or learning a new skill. And the most important part? Track your focus, your mood, and your energy each day. Because this isn't about my data. It's about giving you your own personal proof.
See, by building these small habits, you're not just exercising your body, you are actively rebuilding your brain. But this brings up a really fascinating question. We're always hearing about dopamine, right? The motivation molecule. So how is BDNF different? And which one is the real key to building habits that actually stick? We are going to dive into that next.